Hello, I'm Briony Widdis and I work for Queen's University Belfast. I'm a researcher there and I'm co-principal investigator on this project with Emma Rice. I got involved in the project because we've been collaborating between Queen's and National Museums NI over a number of years around public histories and global objects. And we became aware that there was a significant Chinese collection here that was very precious but hadn't really been accessed by the Chinese community living in Belfast. And we wanted to work with National Museums NI to bring Chinese voices to the interpretation of those objects. And that led to a partnership with the Chinese Welfare Association and Avala Media. The expertise that the Chinese community brings to the interpretation of these objects, no museum, no academic can know everything about a collection. And this project treated lived experience as a form of expertise in its own right. In addition to that, the community members had a lot of art historical expertise about the specific items in the collection. My role in this project was primarily infrastructural. So it was developing the method, the co-production method that underlay the whole project. So it was working across Queen's, Belfast, National Museums NI and the Chinese Welfare Association to bring access from the community to the objects. In terms of things that I learned about the specific objects, there were a range of different things. I think most importantly, it was the importance of community authority in interpreting museum collections. There weren't really any challenges in this project. It was a co-produced project, which means that decisions were taken jointly across all of the partners and with the community representatives. So there weren't, beyond kind of normal challenges of running a project, there weren't any issues at all across the partnership. It was a very progressive, lively, interesting project to be part of. I hope that it will be a way of understanding this collection in a different way through the community voices that have been present within the project. It's definitely left institutional learning for both Queen's and I think for National Museums NI. And some of the community expertise about the object has been directly incorporated now by National Museums NI in its collection documentation. But as well as that, we in Queen's have come to understand better how a community-produced project might run and to understand what an institution like Queen's as an academic body can lend to that process. I think it was really successful for the reasons that I've just outlined. I think it was successful because it was a great example of a co-produced project where no particular institution dominates the agenda. This was very much a community-led project, and the expertise of the Chinese community in Belfast was brought to improve understanding of the Chinese collection in National Museums NI. It is a really important, nationally significant collection, and this project has brought better understanding to it. The website resource that we're developing is a really great way of interacting with the collection, in that people will be able to digitally pick up the objects, turn them around, look at them in detail, look at the patina on the objects, and beside those visual images of the items, they'll be able to read what people have written about them. So they have both researched them and they've given personal reflections on the items, as well as talking about how the items reflect on their own lives. And as well as that, community participants have brought along their own objects and talked about the relevance of those items within their lives as part of their story of migration and living in Northern Ireland and being citizens of Northern Ireland. And that has been a really important element for me, not just looking at these museum collections in isolation, but looking at how people cherish and treasure cultural heritage overall, both in private houses and in public collections. The community has lots of great ideas what it would like to do next. I think one of the ones that has really struck me is the importance of bringing voices of Chinese elders into public space so that that experience going back generations can be better understood. The most important thing I got from this project was friendships. And that for me is the real sustainability of a project like this. That even when projects are funded short term, the relationships hopefully become long lasting. And that enables more great work to happen, but most of all, it enriches individual lives, and it's definitely enriched mine. I can think of lots of lovely moments sitting around the workshop table with participants where I just got to know them a little and they told me about their lives and their experiences in Northern Ireland, and that helps me, like any audience member, to understand more about what it means to live in Northern Ireland now.